Yeah. So I formally welcome you all to the Revamp ED YouTube channel, as well as the participants, those who joined in person. So yesterday, Kalia has left four slides in the day one. So I'm continuing with it. So he left with the evaluation system or assessment. So basically, assessment or evaluation system is nothing but you are measuring the progress. So what has happened so far from the learning. So there are four systematically. There are different patterns are there: placement evaluation, formative evaluation, summative evaluation, diagnostic evaluation. And in that evaluation, you see that there are function, time of evaluation, domain of evaluation, technique of evaluation, report, and scorecard. So you can see that uh, in placement, you check the entry level eligibility condition, prerequisite knowledge and understanding. The timing is before beginning of the course term. So you assume that you are going for a interview. In that situation, this suits. You can see that, and this process also applicable same like whether you get selected or you get rejected. So you can see that, right? So formative evaluation is nothing but to identify the problem in teaching and learning process. So basically, in paper one, apart from research methodology, you may get question from both methodology as well as from the aptitude as well. In paper one and two, you may get a chance to get questions from research methodology. Some of you may be referring to Kotari or Ramahuja, but they won't be having this teaching and learning process or this what we are discussing now. This teaching aptitude won't be there. So most of these are self studies as well, and you can see that. So this formative evaluation is happening in between, during the course or a particular time in a semester or in a year we are looking at. You can see that the cognitive or psychomotor domain is being tested. So it is mostly quantitative in nature. So, they are using quantitative techniques. So in a way, qualitative and quantitative is nothing but where you are using a data set, which is numeric means it is quantitative. If it is not numeric, it is textual per se. You are interacting with somebody and you are writing their story, their case study. You are writing about them means that data is not a quantitative data, that is qualitative data. Okay. Per se, how much somebody is sad, why they are sad, and those ways. So in summative evaluation, here you are giving a certificate or grade based on their learning. So it considers the test of effectiveness of teaching as well. So here it is at the end of the course. So the placement begins with the course when it starts, but whereas formative is during the process, but its summative is in the end of it. So diagnostic evaluation also take place, providing explanation for problems identified in formative evaluation. So it is also happening in the during the course period. Okay, and here the technique of evaluation is quantitative and qualitative, whereas in diagnostic evaluation it is only qualitative. So you see that there is a report. So report is nothing but we are giving a report card or the result. That is what been discussed, and score comparison also happened within the class. You are comparing the entire class or with the different class. This also sometimes happen. Okay, in a simple understanding, we are evaluating when you are a teacher. You evaluate your classroom, how your students are studying, what is their rank, you are giving a grade, you are comparing with the next classroom, some A B C classes there, you are comparing with them. Okay. So test achievement, how is it measured? So as I said, they are comparing, so norm referenced or criterion referenced. So here the scores are being compared by performance, what rank they are getting. See, useful for big picture of what student knows. So this is basically nothing but our examination which been conducted during our school times. Okay, so criterion referenced, you see that student score is based on person correct. So here the goal is to measure the students' skills and knowledge at mastery level. Okay. So there are useful planning, instruction, and differentiation. So here they are using the formative data as well to measure. In the norm reference, they are using summative data. So this is how they frame the question. Like in norm reference, what is the evaluation? They're using summative data to measure, but whereas in criterion it is formative data. Okay, so there are a few other assessment systems are there. In recent days, the trend is that we are using CBCS, choice based credit system. So whereas the students given freedom to choose their own courses, when you are pursuing your UG or PG, so you get a elective, you get a chance to elect or select your subjects which has to be studied, or which you want to be in excel in particular things. So this can be all are experimental, and you can easily relate to your life as well. Since all of us are students, you're coming from a student background, so you all come across these things. So this dynamic assessment is specifically for unfamiliar topic or field. So here the repetitive teaching and test is happening, and then again and again test is happening. So this is what we do in 12th standard or 11th standard. When we take new subjects from class to class, we shift, we upgrade ourselves, and then we keep on reading. So these things are there. So synoptic assessment encourages student to combine elements of their learning from different parts of program to show their accumulative knowledge and understanding of a topic. So this is basically a comprehensive view, how a student is getting a comprehensive view. That is what been systematic assessment. When kind of extempore or immediate class test, these are things are to just check the accumulated knowledge of a particular student or a particular learner. Okay, so you can see that setive assessments, that is basically a self study. Self study is nothing but when we have online distance courses or regular distance courses. So in that there is nobody teaches to the students. It is the learner or the student who enrolled for a particular course, preparing with materials, whatever given material. So for example, we have IGNO, Indira Gandhi National Open University. They provide materials, books. So in any other university which provides the material to the students. Okay, so continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Here it is happening with both formative and summative assessment. So CBCS, I have already said it. You can see that progress or achievement test and prognostic assessment. So here the progress is nothing but relevant to the syllabus, how student is improved. But in prognostic measurement, it is estimation or prediction of a individual's career. So it's basically you can assume it as a early career guidance to asking somebody what would be your dream. So now we have a dream that we would like to achieve UGC net. We would like to crack JRF. Okay. So here is a example of mind map. So mind map is nothing but a pictorial view of a problem, particular problem or simple thing. But say you have a entire tree. You assume mind map is a tree. In tree you have branches. In branches you have leaves, you have fruit. Okay, so you will assume always mind map is a tree, or a human body, or something of a whole picture you are visualizing, and then you are expanding, or you are giving it as a representation being given in the paper or chart or however it is. In teaching modules we use you know mind map to simplify things to the students so that they'll get to know what after what per se. If there is a process of using an application, so first we begin with the application. There is a application date, there is a deadline to pay the fees, there is a deadline to edit our application, then admit card comes, then we write examination, then result comes, then after result getting fellowship. This is the, if we are writing it in a flow, then that becomes a flow chart. But whereas a mind map is of having a, putting all the flowcharts together, and then you are explaining what happens there. After application you are preparing, so you are preparing means what you are preparing, how you are preparing, you are giving a different steps to that. It's basically nothing but visualization of a process of object. Okay, so here there are a few concepts which you have to study. So that are all, what are all the pedagogy which is available. So when we come across pedagogy, then the pedagogy of the oppressed book has been widely discussed. So Paulo Freire's book, that is a questioning of banking system of education. So that always come in a way. You can see that there are several concepts which has been given here. So it is basic education, that is Mahatma Gandhi's Varda education system, which is nothing but Rajaji also introduced a caste job based education. So where in particular caste student is coming to school, then he'll study for half day, then he'll do the caste job for half day. So mean somebody is a potter, they create pot, and somebody is a shoemaker, they make shoe. It is basically discriminatory process of education. So that is questioned and criticized by many people, and the policy was not implemented in those days by Rajaji. Sorry. And we have Rabindranath Tagore. So Rabindranath Tagore is very well known for his achievement, that he won the Nobel Prize. Anybody know that why he won the Nobel Prize, Rabindranath Tagore?
For writing Gitanjali.
Yeah, yeah. So for Gitanjali, Rabindranath Tagore has uh, got the you know Nobel Prize. And then the system of education which he introduced is nothing but an open space where all come together and sit. You have Santiniketan, which is now known as the Vishwabharati University. So it is his dream to provide education to learners, that whereas no restriction comes. So similarly, you have different people who given their ideas. You have Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, Sir Aurobindo, Jiddu Krishnamurti, John Dewey, Maria Montessori. So Montessori is very famous because self-education through development of individuality. So it is basically for the kids, those who learn with ties. You might have seen some cubic which they are arranging, and some games they are playing through that. So these are all Forabel and Rousseau. These all you will get in the while further you are studying, and you also have to give a special concern towards those things. And with limited time, you can just Google and know that, or with the reference of books, you can learn it. Okay, and just a last slide I'm giving it to you. Here some of the basic information which is available. It is, you must know about education. So this slides also been already shared, you can read and get to know. Okay, so per se some of the great teachers also been given there. You have to read it and prepare it. This is very bullet points are here. Now your course instructor Kalia sir is ready, so he'll join us and he'll go with the day two and preparation two of UGC Net Paper one. Wish you all the best. Thank you. Just wait for a minute. He'll just join.
Good evening. So I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Yes,
Okay, okay. So thank you, Ilaya, for sorry, I had some issue on my PPT, that's why I'm working on that. So everyone clear that unit one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today I take unit number two, that is research aptitude. So research aptitude, basically, what is the research methodology? Based on the research methodology, it's mostly in research methodology. So how we use it in the teaching field as a research methodology. So um, uh, sorry so so what are the topics or subtopic in that research aptitude? So there are research meaning, types, characteristic on positivism and positivist approach to research. And second one, method of the research. There is a various types of research method is there, so we look at one by one. And steps of the research, so what are the process we followed in the time of the research. So on thesis and article writing, so in thesis and article writing, we use various format and styles and reference. It will be changed based on the university norms and rules. So on applications of ICT in research and research ethics, so these are the major topic in that research aptitude. So I will move on that first. So research. So basically, research meaning no, art of scientific investigation. The definition of research varies according to the person to person, but according to Redman and the Mori, research is systematized effort to gain the new knowledge. So research means follow the systematized rules and get the new knowledge. The basically is walking from known thing to towards the unknown thing, and systemized process of the discovery. So this is the main definition of the or meaning of the research. The question will be coming like what is the research. Like in option A, it's scientific investigation. Option B is a systematic process. Option C is option C is new discovery things. So what are the best answer, A, B, C or AC? Like this kind of form of this kind of form questions will be asking. So the term research compromises of the two words re and search. Re mean again, search means find out. So according to the advanced learners dictionary, research is the careful investigation or inquiry, especially to the search for the new facts on any branches of knowledge. So these are the research meaning. Mm, like above the definition, we conclude the general agreement that is a process of inquiry and investigation. It's a systematic and methodological, and third one, increase the knowledge. So there is an educator, according to Cook, he given the acronym for the research. So each word given different meaning. So R means rational way of thinking, E meaning expert and exhaustive treatment, S means search and solution, E means exactness, A analysis, or relationship of facts, C critical observation, H is the honesty and order. These are the basic. You just um, just read these basic things. I move on next slide. Research characteristics. There are different characteristics in the research. So first one, the objectivity. Objective mean research should be without the biasness. So research should be without the bias. Our own influence or our own idea will not included in the research. That means the objectivity. And second one is the reliability. Reliability mean it's a consistent result. It's a continuation of the process. We get the same result. It is a average result for the overall research. That means reliability. The similarity in the result or more is the reliability of the research, also termed as a verifiability. And third one is the validity. Validated means the accuracy. So how accurately method measured to measures and what is intent to the measures. So this is a validity. And third one is the accuracy. So how precisely the measured the value reflect the real or the original value. So it means how the values are reflected in the time of the measure. It called accuracy and credibility. Research account is a believable and accurate. So it is the use of the best source of information and the best procedure. So credibility means time of the research we give the credit to where we will get the source or where we will get the information. So generalizability is the sample is a representative of the whole population and it is consider the entire population. So as a researcher, we did the research on that particular sample, but we conclude that conclude the result from the whole. So that is called the generalizability. And the empirical research, it is based on the real life experience and our direct experience observation. And systematic, it means systematic means based on the rules or step by step followed the as per the procedure. Control factors, the control factors are variable to be controlled rigorously. So there is a two types of variable is a dependent variable and independent variable. Some factors control the dependent or independent variable. That's called the that factors mean the control factors. Cyclical logical, it is a cyclical process because it start with the problem and end with the problem. And logical, there are two types of logical is there, inductive and deductive reasoning. We will look at in the deep detail in the upcoming slides. And last one is a replicable. So replicable mean the it means obtaining consistent result across the studies. aim to the answering the same scientific question with new idea, new data or other methods. So same question for the same question we use different scientific questions or new data or other methods, that is called replicable. And next is the positivism or post-positivist approach to the research. Different approaches develop over the period for acquire the knowledge through research. The main is the metaphysics and epistemology. Metaphysics is a branch of philosophy. It deals with abstract concepts such as the identity, time, and space, being, knowing. It connected with epistemology. And epistemology, study of the knowledge. So study of knowledge means how we acquire or how we know that thing or how we acquire the knowledge. It's we study of the question of the how, that is called study of epistemology. It deals with the knowledge origin, knowledge of origin, nature, scope, and methods to acquire. Epistemology first used by the Frederick Ferrier. There is another concept, philosophy is there, like that is ontology. Ontology means study of the reality or study of the what is being. So that is the ontology. These three concepts used in that research methodology. Basically, there are two ways to acquire knowledge, and they are the rationalism and empiricism. So rationalism means logic and reason. So acquiring knowledge mean acquiring knowledge through the logic and reason. Empiricism is the experience of experience, lived experience. So our all the knowledge acquiring by the experience. Theory and paradigm. Paradigm is the way of thinking how to do it, or about how to way of thinking or how to do it. It is paradigm shift term used by the Thomas Kuhn. So some of the question they asking, who is the paradigm shift? This Thomas Kuhn. Research paradigm. So research paradigm is a model of the functions and interrelationships of the process. How to study, way of thinking about something, and how to study it. So positive paradigm. So positivism was coined by the French philosopher Auguste Comte. Positivism mainly adheres to idea that factual knowledge gained through the observation is a trustworthy. It is a quantifiable observation. Positives adopt the deductive approach. Concentration is on facts and scientific methods used. Positivism relies on experience, source of the knowledge, as a valid source of the knowledge. So role of the research in the positivist is limited to data collection and the interpretation. Positivism is the logical empiricism. The difference between positivism and post-positivism is the positivism did the deductive, post-positivism is the inductive. It's a quantitative, it's qualitative. So these are the major difference between positivism and post-positivism. And next is the methods or classification of the research. Basis of the different variable, we classified the research, types of research, like basis of the objective, descriptive, correlational, explanatory, exploratory, experimental, based on the outcome, fundamental and applied, logic, inductive research and deductive research, process, qualitative or quantitative, inquiry mode, structure and unstructured, idea or concept, conceptual or empirical. We look at it one by one. So descriptive research, it describes the nature of the situation. It exists at the time of the study. So we find the answer for who, what, when, where, how. It's the basically quantitative research. It involves describing the phenomena, observing, drawing the conclusion from it. It includes survey and fact finding. Studying the relationship between two or more variables falls under the scope of the descriptive research. So there are different types of under the descriptive research, there are different types is there. First is the cross-sectional studies, the one-time studies. The time of the study of the research is the only particular time, that is the cross-sectional. Longitudinal research conduct the over period of the time. So longitudinal study means conduct the study among the particular group from it's a over period of time, like if you take one children from here attending school time and intermediate school and till higher education. So over the period we conduct the study, that mean the longitudinal study. And survey study is collecting data for the surveys, like the census data. So we census data comes under the survey studies. And correlation means relation between the two variable and their association. And ex post facto research means it conduct after the event. So after the event we will conduct the study on the particular time phenomena or event. So basically used in the social science and business and organization. Sixth one, the historical research focus on the historical aspect. Analytical research is the researcher use the facts and the information already available. Explanatory research aims at explaining how and why between the two aspects of the situation. And ninth one is the exploratory research. So exploratory means researcher to explore unfamiliar area or no one explore that particular phenomena or event. That means the exploratory research. And experimental research, it is basically lab oriented research. These are the types of descriptive research. And next is the classification of the research on the basis of the application. There are two types: basic research or fundamental and applied research. Basic research means expand the knowledge of process of business and management. And applied research means improve the understanding of the particular business or management problem. Basic research we usually use it in the universities, and applied research basically use it in the organizations or other private research thing. So this is the difference between basic research and applied research. And second one is the classification of research of basics of logic. The basics of logic, there are two types: inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. So deductive reasoning means the process start from the general and general statement to reach a logical conclusion. It involves moving from general to specific. It is a top-down approach, and the conclusion has to be true if the premises are true. Comparably more difficult to use, we need as a fact as definitely true. And inductive reasoning is process of reasoning moves from specific observation to broader generalization. So deductive means general to specific or particular. Inductive means particular to specific or general. So the question will be asked, what is the inductive reasoning, like particular to general, general to particular, like question will be coming like that. So these are the is how said this is the deductive approach reasoning. This is the inductive reasoning. So it will start from theory and make a hypothesis, then we observe a thing, and finally it will confirm or rejected. So the thing is accepted or rejected. So inductive means is the bottom up approach. So we observe the thing and make the hypothesis and create the theory. It is called the inductive research. So basically deductive is the general to specific. Deductive. Inductive means specific to general. So these are the difference between inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. Based on the inquiry mode, there are two types of approaches there: structured approach and unstructured. Structured approach and unstructured approach. So structured approach means usually classified as the quantitative research. It is it more appropriate to determine the extent the problem, issues or phenomena by quantifying the variation. So for example, how many people have a particular program or how many people hold a particular attitude. So this is the structured approach. The unstructured approach, it is classified as a qualitative. It sometimes is a flexible in the all aspects of research. So it more appropriate to the explore nature of the problem, issues or phenomena without a qualifying. So suppose we structure the some questions. Whenever we went to the field, we modified the question that called the unstructured. We didn't modify, that is a structure. It is the difference between structure and unstructured. And next is the classification of the research on the basis of the process, qualitative research and quantitative research. So qualitative mean gain the understanding. So gain the understanding of underlying the reason or motivation. So qualitative mean gain the understanding underlying the reason or motivation. Quantitative mean quantify the data or generate the result from sample from the population of interest. Uncover qualitative mean uncover trends to provide the insights into setting of the problem. So quantitative is a measure of the incidence of the particular occurrence, view, opinion in the chosen. Basically, quantitative means we quantify the data. That means numbers. And qualitative is we cannot quantify. We qualitative like it's a textual format. So this is the qualitative. In sample qualitative, we use a very less number. Quantitative, we use a large number. We randomly selected for quantitative data, and qualitative, we deliberately choose the particular theoretic based on the particular theoretical premises. Data analysis is a non-statistical analysis. Quantitative data is a statistical analysis. So data can be expressed as a number. Here, qualitative we cannot be expressed as a number. Qualitative is a more subjective, quantitative is the more objective is in nature. Example like qualitative, we can say it's a cold, it's a hot or tall. In quantify, we can say 9 degrees Fahrenheit, height is a 6 inch is my height. So this is a major difference between qualitative and quantitative research. And there are some approaches used in that qualitative research, majorly in around 5 approaches. One is narrative research, phenomenology, grounded theory, ethnography, and case study. Narrative research exploring the lifestyle of an individual, whenever like you research on the particular tribe, you need to wanted their story and their belief system. It is called they narrated the story. From that we developed we organize that narration. That is called a narrative research. Phenomenology means understanding the essence of the experience in that those who lived in their experience. Like we understanding the phenomena, those who lived in that experience. Like suppose somebody, if you wanted research on that mortuary worker, you wanted their mindset. So for that we can use the phenomenology. So grounded theory, developing a theory grounded in the data from the field. So grounded theory means we develop the new theory from the collection of the data. And ethnography, ethnography means describing and interrupting a culture or sharing a group. So we study the particular culture. So we study like we want to study on the who Munda tribes. So for that you need to select the for the understanding their culture. We use the ethnography study. Case study means developing and the in-depth description and analysis of cases or multiple cases. So in case studies in particular, like in if you want to study about the slum people in your location, how they socioeconomic condition is there. So then particular case we will take for the research, that is called case study. Type of the problem or best to suit design for the narrative research needed to tell the stories of individual experience. Phenomenology needed to describe the essence of the libido phenomena. Grounded theory, the views of the participants, and ethnography, description and interpreting the shared pattern of the culture of the group. And case study, in-depth understanding of the cases. Unit of analysis, studying one or more individual. In phenomenology, studying the several individual who have shared the experience. And grounded theory, studying a process, an action or an interaction involving the many individual. Ethnography, studying the group that share the same culture. Studying an event or program or an activity more than one individual case. So these are the major approaches used in the qualitative research. I move on the next slide. So action research, so nowadays is the emerging field as action research. So action research, action means doing something, and second research means analyzing. So basically action research means learning by doing. The term coined by the Kurt Lewin, action research as a comparative research on all the condition and effect of the various forms of the social action and research leading to the social action. So like mostly the action research class or education related research mostly under the action research. Like these are the diagram for the action research. So we plan and act and observe, reflect. So again, if we need, we revise the plan and act and observe and reflect. If you record, we need to go another revise plan and act. So this is the action research, mostly basically using the education sector. The question will be many times they asking question from action research. So please more give study on that action research. Next is the classification of research on the basis of the concept. Basis of the concept, we divided two research. One is a conceptual research and another one is the empirical research. So conceptual research is generally used by the philosopher and thinkers to develop the new concept or reinterpreting the existing concept. It is a conceptual research. Empirical research, it more relies on the experience, observation, without due to regard of the system and theory. Next is the so these are the classic overall the classification research. We'll look on the descriptive, correlation, exploratory, explanatory, fundamental and applied, quantitative and quality, inductive and deductive, action research. Like these are the major types of research in that research aptitude. And next is another topic is steps of research. So first step with the formulation of the research problem. Like based on the literature review, we formulate the objective or identifying the variable measuring scale and formulating the hypothesis. And second on the preparing the research design. So based on the objective and hypothesis, we prepare the research design, like a study design. Is exploratory or explanatory. This kind of study research design we will select. And third one, they're developing the data collection instruments. So what types of data? It's a nominal, ordinal, interval or ratio data, and what methods of data collection. So like interview, observation, focus group discussion, and designing the research tool. So which research tool you take? Like same observation or questionnaire or survey, like. And fourth step is the selecting the samples. So which sample type of sample you select. So there is a two types of sample design is there, and probability and non-probability. And fifth one is the writing the research proposal. So based on these four steps, we writing the research proposal. So sixth one is the collection of collecting data. So observation, interviews, questionnaires, and schedules. So after the research proposal, we are going to the collection of the data. We using these tools, and after collection data, we processing and analyzing the data. So basically, quantitative data, we are going for that statistical analysis. In qualitative, we use that editing and coding, classification of the tabulation, analysis, hypothesis testing, and generalization. And step 8, writing the research report. So there is some template or formation is there, how to write the research report, or title of the page, each include a title of the page, table of the content, chapter, bibliography, appendices. So these are the major steps following while doing the research. The question will be coming, what are please arrange the chronicle order of the step of the research. They be mixed the steps, like first they will give developing data, and second is preparing research design, and third one they're putting the collecting data. So the question, please order chronological and find the which one is correct order. So that kind of form of question will be coming for the examination. Many times it come it came for the exam. Majorly one question will extract from this topic. So this is the steps of the research. We look at the one by one. So hypothesis means the is an assumption that made based on some evidence. So hypothesis means this is the tentative statement for the initial point of any investigation that related in translate in the research questions and to prediction. Research hypothesis used to test the relationship between the two or more variable, and characteristic of hypothesis. um, uh, Hypothesis should be clear and precise to consider it to be reliable. It is a relational hypothesis. You should be stating the relationship between the variable. So the hypothesis should be relationship between variable, like independent variable and dependent variable. And hypothesis must be specific, should be have scope for conducting the more test. The way of the explanation of hypothesis must be very simple, and it should be understood the simplicity of the hypothesis. It not related to its a significance. So these are the characters. The question will be coming. Please find the characters of hypothesis. They will give three characters of hypothesis, and three different characters give. Please select which one is correct, A, B, C, or A, D. So these will come. So please properly read the characters of the hypothesis. And types of hypothesis. uh, so types of research hypothesis, there are two hypotheses. One is the null hypothesis, sorry, research hypothesis, and alternative hypothesis. So alternative hypothesis means there is significant different there is a difference between the two sample, like there are difference between dependent variable, independent variable. Like example, if I scoring, if I study work, if you study hard work, study more, I will score more. So here this is a alternative hypothesis. Like there is a if I am not studying, I'm not score. I'm not very well score. So for null hypothesis, we indicate the H naught. There is no significant difference between the two peoples. Um, Research hypothesis of different, hypothesis of the prevalence, hypothesis of the association. So basically, hypothesis we need more important to the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So types of the errors. So these are the very important in types in the topic of the hypothesis. If the null hypothesis is rejected, it is the type 1 error. And if the null hypothesis is not rejected, it is a type 2 error. So that means correct decision. Type 1 error means correct decision and true positive. Type 2 error is the false negative and say false negative, and correct decision is the true negative. So these are the type of the error. And next one, the type of the variable. Majorly there are two variable. One is a independent variable, another one the dependent variable, like cause and effect. So independent variable, it is a manipulating a manipulator or experimental or treatment variable. It is a variable manipulated by the researcher in time of the experiment. Dependent variable, also called outcome or response variable. Here study about the example. Study about impact of the coaching on study student performance. Here coaching is the independent variable, and student performance is the dependent variable. So they this is the independent and dependent variable. Dependent variable means it is the outcome of the independent variable. So if I coaching from Premier Institute, I will perform very well. Like this is the major understand of the types of variable. Other than the major variable, there are different variable is there. Intervening variable or mediator variable. This is the linkage between the independent variable and dependent variable. Example, if I wanted to study a relationship between the education or yearly spending. So means the level of education, those who studied very those who are the very well educated, they spending more money. This is the level of education is the independent variable. Spending money is the dependent variable. Here income is the intervening variable. If you have income, then only we spend the money. So that is the intervening variable or mediator variable. And next one is the confounding variable. Confounding variable, it is a type of the extraneous variable that associate with the both independent and dependent variable. So confounding variable means it affect the both variable, independent and dependent variable. And extraneous variable, it only influence in the dependent variable. So there, like see in this picture, independent and dependent variable. Confounding variable, it will be affect the both dependent, and extraneous variable, it will affect only dependent variable. So these are the types of the variable. And measuring the scale. So these are this topic is very important. Majorly they will ask one question will be in this topic. So measuring the scale. So after we collected data, we measure the data using these scales. So measurement of the variable is a central research studies. According to students, measurement of scale can be the 4 types of, that is the nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. So nominal mean basically it's given the name, or we categorize the data or variables. So categorize the variable like given the name or number or anything. And ordinal means it's combine of the name or classification plus order. We give the ranks like we give the rank for that variables. It is the ordinal variable. Interval variable is name plus order plus proportionate interval. So it is a particular interval will be in that variable like 10 to 15, 15 to 60, to say 15 to 70. There is a interval between the two variables. That is called the interval scale. And final one is the ratio. It is basically given first given the name and order. We ordered by the ranking and proportional interval. What are the proportional interval is there, and absolute zero. So ratio is a absolute zero. So there is a what is the difference between interval and ratio is absolute zero is different. Like here we use that what ratio per Celsius of temperature and other things. We use the ratio scale. So these are the important concept in measuring of the scale. So nominal is only name, ordinal is the name in name plus rank, and interval is the name, order, and proportionate interval, and ratio is the name, order, and proportionate interval, and plus absolute zero. So on last next one is the sampling. Sampling. So sampling is the we for the collection of the data we need to choose the sample. So like population is the entire group, like the whole population. Like if you take that Delhi, this is the whole population or universe. And sample means we took one particular district from that population. It means a sample. So population is the entire group. Sample means a specific group from the population. Like see this diagram. So population the all the people. Sample is the we took in the particular people. This is called difference between population and sample. And next one is the sampling technique. There are the two types of sampling method or technique is there. One is the probability sampling, and another one is the non-probability sampling. Probability sampling means every member of the population has a chance to be selected. It is mainly used in the quantitative research. Non-probability sample means individual are selected based on the non-random criteria, and not every individual has a chance. So probability sampling, everyone has chance to be selected. Non-probability, not everyone has that chance for the selection. So this is the difference between probability and non-probability. In probability sampling, there are 4 types is there. Simple random, systematic, stratified, and cluster sampling. Non-probability sampling is a convenience sampling, quota sampling, and judgmental, and snowball sampling. Simple random sampling, every member of the population and equal chances being the selected. See in the first picture is a simple random sample. So from that sample we choose the people from randomly. It is called the random sampling. Systematic sampling, it means every member we listed the number or given the rank. From that given number or given the rank, every nth position, like if suppose 1000 so 5,000 people is there, I need the 500 sample. So we go for the systematic sampling. So 5,000 divided by 500, it's a 5 in 10. So every 10th sampling I choose as for the selection. So like be given the 1 to 5,000 on every 10th sample I selected for the sampling. It is called the systematic sampling. And stratified sampling. Stratified sampling is the we dividing the population into the subpopulation. From that subpopulation, we selected the sample. See in stratified sample, see we subdividing the population, and from that population subdividing population, we select one sample from that each subdivision. It is called the stratified sampling. Cluster sampling also involves dividing the population into the subgroups, and each group has similar characteristics to the whole sample. So here, same as the stratified sampling, there we will only one sample from selected from the subgroup, but here the whole sample collected from that subgroup. See, in cluster sample, 1 group, 2 group, 3, 4, we collected the whole group. This is called the cluster sample. And non-probability sampling. In non-probability, as I mentioned, convenience sample, purposive sample, judgmental sample, and quota sample. Convenience sample basically for the researcher who are most accessible for the researcher. So easy to access the sample. We go for the convenient sample. So here researcher take the sample from who are easily accessed. They selected. So this is the convenience. The purposive sampling. This type of sampling is a judgmental sampling, purposive sampling or judgmental sampling. It is a based on the researcher idea or researcher interest. We selected the purposely we selected the sampling. Like see, researchers select purposely in sample based on mostly the purpose of sampling. Based on the objective, we selected purpose of the sampling. And second one is the third one is the snowball sampling. Snowball sampling, if the population hard to access the snowball, see if we know that we had to find the sampler for collecting data. Example, we collected sample from the HIV positive HIV patient. We don't know who are HIV. We know the one person. That one person lead to another person. So that is the snowball sample. So here one person lead to another person. That person lead to another person. This is called the snowball sampling. Quota sampling. It is a non-probability stratified samplings. Like so, first we divide the population into the subgroup based on the sample units, specific character from your data. From that we collected the data from that sample. So this is the quota sample. These are the techniques of the sampling. Two types: probability, non-probability. Probability is stratified, systematic, and cluster. And non-probability is judgmental, purposive. Sorry, convenience, judgmental, purposive, snowball sampling, quota sampling. So types of data collection, there are two types of data collection is there: primary data collection and secondary data collection. So primary is a statistical method, survey, poll, interview, telephonic technique, or focus groups. So interview means face-to-face interview. Survey is a censusical data. Polls is a like in Twitter, you show that in Twitter or social media, we see that the poll, which one you support, like which political era you support, like they given the poll. Telephonic technique, we from the telephonic we collect the data. This is the primary data, and secondary data mostly already existing the data like financial report, sales report, government reports, mission, vision statement, and which are available in internet. These are the secondary data collection methods. So in the question they asking, choose the primary data, add out the primary collection data. So they given 3 primary data collection and given the one secondary data collection. Please add out from that one. So this kind of question will coming for the exam, and format and style for the reference. So in research article, research article for bibliographies or reference, we give the reference, we give the reference some format or style. So there are majorly we use the two formatting for the reference. One is the MLA, Modern Language Association, and APA, American Psychological Association. So MLA is in the question they will ask what is the MLA acronym. So Modern Language Association, APA, American Psychological Association. So what is the difference between APA style and MLA style? APA used in the social science, MLA used in the humanities. APA, it's a topic is a italic font. MLA is a underlined one. All major words in capitalized in MLA style. APA is most necessary word are in the capital letters. The sources page like title as a reference or as a reference link. Sources page is title as the work cited. Here the last name author is user, here the full name. So in reference we use some in MLA we use only MLA we use the full name of the author. In APA we use the only last name of the author. Author name and year publication is usually in for the next site in text citation. Author number and page number will be added in that and citation. So commas are used in the text. In MLA style there is no uses in the comma. So these are the format and style of reference. There are some different format and styles used in the reference. You go through in that some other materials. So these are the major important for the examination perspective. And research ethics, there are some research ethics followed while doing the research, like honest and objectivity. Objectivity means there is no biasness, respecting the individual privacy. So don't share the individual information to others, getting the consent. So before collecting the data we need to consent from that person. Citation, we properly maintain the citation. Punctuality, we properly maintain timetable for the research. And scientific permission, so for suppose in particular government sector you go to the collected data, for that we need to get the permission, it's called the scientific permission. These are the major ethics followed in that while doing the research. And seminar, workshop, and symposium and conference. So in some question paper they asking what are the difference between seminar, workshop, in symposium and conference. So workshop is a meeting where the group of people learn about something through the intensive discussion and activate activities later. So workshop based on the activate, it more very formal. It focus on the specific subject and topic, offer more practical activities, can be one day workshop or two, maybe continued for several days, not for more larger days. sorry, more days. And seminar is the form of the academic instruction, either academic instruction or organized by the professional organization. It not very formal. Focus on general topics. Does not offer lot of practice. So seminar not offer practical activities conducted in one day. Though they can recurrent. Symposium is the meeting at the number of symposium is the they calling the expertise in the particular topic. They will deliver the lecture. That is called the symposium. It is a very formal structure. Focus on the specific subject or topic. There is no practical activities. Symposium might be completed within the one day. Conference is a formal meeting of the people shared interest involving discussion, problem solving, and consultation. It is a formal focus on the general topics. No practical activities. Can last for several days. So these are the difference between workshop, seminar, symposium, and conference. The questions they will ask. So if expertise from particular field or particular subject, what is the means? They given it is a workshop, seminar, or conference. So one or two examination they asking this kind of the question. So mostly these are the topics under that research aptitude. So I covered what I covered mostly examination perspective. I done to my part from in this topic. So if you have any doubt, please ask that